I saw some people the other day crying, oh, I don't know, Trump has removed money. He said he's not giving us any more money. Watu wanalia. Why are you crying? It's not your government, it's not your country. He has no reason to give you anything. And I'd like just to go back a little bit and recall the year 2020, which was the beginning of a very difficult time for us as a country, for the world, but also for me individually. When our world basically came to a standstill, taking everybody by complete surprise and forcing nations to begin to ask themselves when this pandemic would actually arrive at our respective doorsteps. As president at the time, and in consultation with my cabinet, we found it prudent, well before the disease was found within our borders, to set up the National Emergency Response Committee on Coronavirus. The role of this committee, chaired by the then Cabinet Secretary Mutahi Kagwe, was to help steer the country and to navigate the uncertain season with an emphasis on coordinating capacity building of medical personnel and other professionals to enable our country to respond quickly and effectively to any suspected cases or outbreak of the virus that would occur or could occur at that time anywhere in the Republic. But I also want to talk a little bit about vaccines, because when news came that vaccines had been found and were available, that good news that was spread on CNN and BBC and everywhere else, making us all totally very excited, we soon realized that that news was not for us on the African continent, it was for others, since these vaccines were not available to us. But we were told now how they are available, but the good news, unfortunately, was not for Africa. We couldn't access. And so, at a continental level, we sat as an African Union, convened meetings, and for the very first time discussed how would we as Africans avail ourselves of these much-needed vaccines. To cut a long story short, after many numerous discussions, working together under the coordination of Africa CDC, we were able to find adequate vaccines for our people. But that would not have been possible without the coordination and the collaboration of Africa as a whole. This was a great eye-opener for many of us, and at that stage, I must appreciate the African Union under the leadership of Musa Faki and the then Director General of Africa CDC for recognizing that it was important that the Union come up with a framework that would spearhead the development and access of COVID-19 vaccines to Africa. Today, you are all here to deliberate on global health security systems, something that is critical and crucial because it comes at a time that we need to be prepared, not if a pandemic shall occur again, but when that pandemic occurs, that it should not catch us flat-footed as did COVID-19. This, I believe, ladies and gentlemen, is an opportunity for you to discuss ways and means of how we can be better prepared to face any new pandemic that may arise in the future. And again, I emphasize that it is a matter of when, not if. And also as Africans, not to wait for others to come to our rescue. As I told you, our excitement when we watched CNN, BBC, and everybody else celebrate these new vaccines that were being rolled out. But as we were celebrating watching the TV, none of this was coming to us. So my friends, any future pandemic that comes, don't think anybody out there is going to come and look up. They'll look after themselves first. Then if there's any surplus, bas mutapatiwa ile mabaki mebaki, mujisaidie ile kidogo kidogo tu mtupiwe tu mkule huko kando. Hata mutapatiwa bure. Kwa sababu sasa at that time hakuna shida, wamejitengeneza, nyinyi sasa shauri yenu. But whether we like it or not, funding for this has to come from ourselves. It has to come from ourselves because we have to begin to reprioritize what is important for us as Africans on the continent and where should our resources go. And towards that end, to remember the amount of resource we waste killing each other. When you see the devastation caused across this continent by the many unnecessary wars, Sudan, DRC, all across the Sahel, all across the continent, we have actually lost more people to bullets fired by Africans on Africans than we actually lost to the coronavirus. And we have actually spent more buying those bullets to kill ourselves than we have actually spent on protecting our health and our societies. So an end to war and a collaboration towards putting an end to these conflicts and being able to repurpose our resources to where they shall have the greatest impact on our population shall remain the biggest and most critical agenda for the African continent. Let us be ready and let us be prepared. Let us be self-reliant by ensuring that we deal with the challenges that we have in order for us to be able to free resources for where they are most needed. I saw some people the other day crying, oh, I don't know, Trump has removed money. He said he's not giving us any more money. Watu wanalia. Why are you crying? It's not your government, it's not your country. He has no reason to give you anything. I mean, you don't pay taxes in America. He is appealing to his people. Shauri yenu bwana. This is a wake-up call for you to say, okay, what are we going to do to help ourselves? Instead of crying, tujiulize, what are we going to do? Haya, ametoa hiyo pesa, sasa tutafanya namna gani jameni? What are we going to do? Yeah? To support ourselves. Because nobody is going to continue holding out a hand there to give you. It is time for us to use our resources for the right things. We are the ones who are using them for the wrong things. Yeah? The bullets and the guns we buy, we are not given for free. We buy them. And we're not buying them to go and fight wars off our shores. We are fighting our own people, hapa too. Yeah? Brother killing sister, sister killing brother. Over stupid things. Yeah? Let us work together to bring an end to all of that and to focus ourselves on those issues that really matter for our people. I thank you very much.